Hi, Jamie. I don't even think I've got a signal. There, come on. It is good morning here still. I hope I don't buffer too bad. It doesn't look like my lighting is very good this morning, not for what I'm fixing to do. I'll try to move this in and get a little more light on the paper. My camera may not be in the best shape in the world. And I'm afraid I'm going to buffer. But here's what I'm going to do right here. This is Carlos, and he asked me to paint his picture. So I'm going to try and see if I can do that. But first I've got to draw it. And I can't find my paper. So I have some really heavy cardstock here I'm going to use. And to see how that turns out. And hi, Vanessa, how are you, honey? I hope you can see this all right. It looks so dark here right now. And it's not over. You're so. Hi, Kathy. Yes, I know. And I blew him up. Wow. So I don't know. My lighting looks like it's way off. And I don't know why. I know. The thought has crossed my mind that I should make copies. Okay, because it looks dark here. I've got a dark heading on my computer for some reason. You can see I have outlined him a little bit on this picture. That is so I can get my drawing lines. And, you know, you can see the outline of his facial features here. And that's so I can get the shape of his face a little clearer in my head. So I hope we have some more come in. There is several streaming right now. So who knows? But I'm going to start seeing if I can't transfer him to this. And I wish I had a light box, but usually I have to turn my page just a little bit to be able to do that. So I have to take over to the side just a little bit. It's going to be a little out of focus. And I'm getting back in a little bit, so maybe you can all see what I'm doing. This allows me to have some wider shoulders and still room for his face. I did a preliminary drawing downstairs off the smaller one, and I actually traced it, but I didn't like the way it looked, even traced.
Here's the preliminary that I done in a smaller size. You know, this is just, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I decided I would, hey, Victor, how are you? Anyway, I didn't like it that well. It's not bad, but my eyes are not right. You know, I need to do some more work on doing that. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do that much work, we're going to come over here and do it. And, you know, do it on a page that I can actually paint then after I get the drawing done. And so, okay, let's see if we can, because I need to, you know, there's some dark areas in here that need to be enhanced, and you know, there's some lines that need to be done, and it's just, you know, it's just a temporary drawing, and kind of some marks on it, some shading to show me where to go. Oh, Shannon, okay. Okay. Okay, honey. This is just going to be some drawing, so we're just going to see how we do. And like I said, this was my first preliminary one. I done this downstairs in a number 2 pencil. This is a little lighter pencil. Hopefully it will allow me to erase and do a little bit more, and we'll see. I really wish I had a light box so I could trace him, but I don't. So right now we're just going to work on this shape of this head just a little bit, his hairline, and you know, it looks like I'm flattening out his head, but I'm not. I'm just drawing in his hairline. And you know, the ins and outs of the face. Oops, let's come down a little bit farther there. That's why I put my eraser out here that says, oops, I made a mistake, because there will be several. There'll be a lot of erasing. And in this photo, he has his face actually tilted to the side, and it's full on to the camera, but it gives him a large, the problem with the drawing is because you have to get this chin nice and strong into his jawbone and back up here, because he is full on to the camera, which gives this odd shape to his head a little bit. So right in here. So I just want to line me a little grid line across here, and it'll be right at the top of his ears, and his ears are going to come in about right here. And this one is flatter to his face, but comes in right here at this come out point right here. And it is much to his face. And that's probably a little big right there in that area. But it's going to give me a position for his eyes, because his eyes come in right at the top point of the ears from there across here to about there. I'm going to put down a little line here, which is going to give me the nose area, because he is full on. And then
Mama,
going to come in about right. What?
Didn't you say you needed Laura to come over?
Yes, she should be over any time.
I think she just pulled in, Mama.
Did she just pull in?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now I've got him gridded out here just a little bit. I'm going to lighten up some of these lines that I've double drawn and, get my self back in focus here. Okay, now his nose is rather wide set. I'm going to start the eyes. And the eyebrows will come up in here. And here it's much darker and much heavier. I've never drawn one. I had one, so it's okay. Now here's the point for my eyes to come in, and this area is really dark right in here, but I'm going to come down with a line here for his nose and here for the top of his nose. And those are real faint lines. You probably, I don't know if you can see them or not, but we've got to come in here so I don't go too far inward with his eyes, which I already have, because his eyes are not real far out and they are hooded slightly and definitely rounded in shape. Now we're going to come in here and come right up underneath that.
Mama, what's the radio with 60, Mama?
And down. And now this line flattens out quite a bit more.
Mama,
right in here. This is not as but we don't have this point on it because that doesn't show on this one. So it comes in like this and like this, and there will be a little mark right there, and then his pupil in here, and he has very, very black eyes.
Mama, what kind of cereal you want me to fix to eat, Mom?
This comes down darker, and I don't think I'm quite in the right spot yet. We may have to drop those ears down just a little bit. Cereal, baby, please.
What kind of cereal?
His breakfast yet. He's not. Tommy, get you some of the cornflakes. Okay, I'm going to lay in his hairline here. It's a pretty deep part. And a short haircut. Okay. Very dark. And then we have this little line that comes down underneath his eye and kind of fades out. If you see that I'm doing something wrong, you all holler at me. Okay, this eye starts right here. And again, it's very hooded. Can't see, except for right here, the hood that lays over his eye. And this one will come down and connect because of the darkness in it. And again, this flattens out quite a bit. I don't know if that's the same size or not. Doesn't look like it to me, but we're going to give it a try here because of his smile, as you do. This would be all shaded in. And darkness. See a little bit of that right there. Okay, now I've got the back lined up. And actually, that's not too bad. Okay, now his nose is very fine. It's straight. And it's going to come down here and here. And then it has a wide end on it. That levels out. And again over here, it comes out. Levels out. I'm not sure. I'm not here yet. And we'll get rid of those lines in there. Hi, JC. How are you? Thanks for coming in. I have done a lot of pencil drawings, but I have never done an acrylic one. And this is just my preliminary drawing. And sometimes it takes me, a couple of days to do the drawing to where I want it. So, I don't have any way to speed this up. I could do this on a video, and even then I wouldn't have enough. I wouldn't be able to speed it up. So I just decided I'd just come online and do this. I may do it several days in a row. And so, but thanks for joining us. All right, now I can get rid of these lines here. There will be some highlights there. And I don't think I have his nose far enough across. It doesn't look to me like I do. Okay. On his mouth about right there. Let's see. Points here. That's too long. Comes right to the top of his mouth. This comes on around and actually comes down. With a little bit going on right in here where his face has come out a little bit. It'll all look better once his collar and stuff goes in there. Okay. Well, let's see. I'll give that a little bit of definition here. These are too, his ears are too high. I'm going to bring this down. And let's see if we can't do that. It doesn't have very large ears. That's for sure. And if I make them larger, it takes away the youngness of him. That's one of the places where you can age a person fairly quickly, is in the ears. Because the older you get, the bigger your ears get. Hi, Laura. How are you, honey? Okay, that looks better. Let's drop this one down as well. Let's bring him down. Out. Right in there. More. And that doesn't need to be as rounded as it is. It can be squared off just a little. Okay. I'm going to come this way. Right in here. And just get this little faint hint of this earlobe. I know there's lots of people out there that could probably do this a lot faster. I don't know why he asked me to do this, but I'm thrilled that he did. It means a lot to me. And so we're going to come up here and come a little higher with that. Oh, that's better. A little bit higher. Okay. All right, now let's see if we can put his mouth in here. Men typically have a very thin mouth. And that line is way too out there for this. So here we go. We're going to come down and start right here. And flatten out. And that one definitely curves upward right in that line, that heavier line right in there. Make that a little more curved. We have some darkness in this side. And right in under here. Right in there. We're going to come down and do his bottom lip, which is a lot thicker. We've got some teeth showing in here. We want a little line for that. We don't want to forget his teeth. A little curl there. It's nice straight teeth. I kind of lost his grin right there. Let's see if we can't put it back. Put that smile back on him. Okay, and this should be curved slightly and then down. Okay, now I know I've drawn them heavy, but I don't think they are. Or maybe it's his nose. I think that could be part of it too. We should maybe pull down his nose here just a little bit in width. Okay, Shannon, it's good that you were here, honey. Thank you. Okay, now let's see if we can't make this a laugh line instead of a that. Just come in there and make that little laugh line. And then come out a little farther with this one. And have this little faint line here. He has a little indentation in his nose right there that I don't want to make too dark. He has that little indentation there. Okay, I'll take this side out. And this is too dark. We'll come out of there. That's where our light's going to be. And here.
Mama, what kind of shirt do you want to wear with the pants,
And
Mama?
let's get rid of those and make them fainter, and we'll do that with some shadowing. And take this out of here.
Mama, what kind of shirt do you want me to wear with my pants?
Square off that chin just a little bit more. Honey, just find you something, babe. I don't care.
What kind of shirt you want me to wear with my pants?
A nice one. It's a very strong chin, but it is rounded. It's not completely squared off. So,
What do you want me to do with the common shirt, Mama?
honey, put it in the. They like him, as far as I'm concerned. So we've got to do some work on him.
Mama, did you say you wanted from Maryville College in there already closed, Mom?
Huh? Yes, I did. Some very deep shadow in here, along with his eyebrow. I think I'm up too far with this point of this eye. Is part of the problem. Let's bring it down and shadow it in a little heavier. This one is more shadowed and comes up and around a little bit. And this one should too. Kind of covers the bottom of his pupil just a little bit right there. All right. Okay. I'm not happy with his mouth.
You want to just leave my work jeans out since I'm going to be working over there tomorrow?
And that's because I don't have it quite long enough on this end.
Mama, you want to leave my work jeans out since I'll be working over there at Lori's tomorrow?
You're not going to be working over there at Lori's. You're going to be working in our yard.
I need to get that. Just take that dump, Mama.
Okay, we'll do it. I'm going to make this a little bigger on this side if I can without warping it completely. Let's see. And this needs to go straight across. I've got it. Okay. His eyes are not rounded enough. I just absolutely cannot get that roundness that I want right there. That hooded look all the way down. And it actually comes across almost flat across the top of his eye. If anybody has any comments, please comment. If you see something that you think I could improve, do so. You know, sometimes it helps to have another eye.
What kind of t-shirt you want me to take out, Mom?
Looking at it. Okay. This should be really, really light in here. Really light. So let's lighten that line up. A little bit of light right there. Okay. This is lighter.
What kind of t-shirt you want me to take out?
Honey, just get one out of the bedroom drawer. This is very light right in here. I've gone way too dark right in here. This needs to be lightened. And flattened quite a bit. And this, we do have some lashes that are hooded down here. And it's a little spot. Of light. And there's a few lashes kind of hooding the eye here. All right, now let's look. It's better, except it's still not dark enough right in here. It comes down in 3 separate lines. This one does not arch up. Does not arch up. Hi, Christine. How are you, darling? Okay, I've worked 44 minutes just getting a basic drawing going here, and I'm not completely satisfied with it yet. Good. Let's get him some hairline in here. This comes here now, right just above his and down to the top of his ears. And I have to draw it before I can even start to think about painting it, because I've got to know where all of these marks are. This is too big right here. We want to make that smaller. In and out. Okay, this neckline starts in about right here. And V's down in here. And then it comes up here and down. So I said he's kind of standing with his head turned. So this is dark shadow right in here. But you can definitely see the line of his chin right there. Shades about halfway up. This is the line of his shirt. And this is the line of his shirt. And it has a little bit of a curve and comes to a point. There's something not quite right. Of course, I started his hair and then I quit. Okay, so we're going to go over here and we're going to do this hairline here. And he combs his hair back. And then down. And then this comes up and flattens slightly on the top. And all of these are combed up and back. And down. A little bit of swoop right in here. And then over farther in here. He may just get a pencil drawing. He might just get a pencil drawing.
About my Iron Man shirt, Mom.
That works for me, Tom. Let's take some of the hard edges off of his hair here. just slightly with the eraser. His hair is very, very dark, very dark. It actually starts to come in a little bit right in here. So we need to come in like that. Okay. Oh, I just didn't. I was going to do some flowers, some more flowers, and I thought, I'm in the mood to draw. So we're going to see what we can do. And I believe the hairs are helping him a little bit. I'm still not real pleased with his eyes. I will probably have to work on them several times before I get them exactly where I want them, because like I said, this is really hooded and this one is so much clearer. He's got but then it's got some shadow right in here. And some shadow right in here. And this one is just shadowed. It's just really shadowed in the whole area right in here. And actually that shadowing comes kind of to a point right there. And then not so much right here. That's going to help some. But then it's dark, dark, dark all the way across his eye, except for that point of light. Oh, that helped. That helped. That helped. That was the line that was much needed right there. Okay. But even with that, his eyes look happy. And yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Okay. We need to lighten this line right in here. And right up underneath his eye here. Let's lighten that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm beginning to see it, but yet again, I see a lot of things I could do differently. Like I said, this may be a 2 or 3 day progress. And there is shadowing on the tip of what, honey? Right here. There. There is a little shadowing over here. The nose, his nose tip. Yes, there is some shadowing here. Definitely. Kind of a flattened teardrop shape, just but low, low. And need to take some of that out. And this nostril is not big enough. That's what I said. I don't think my nose is quite in shape either. And this line, I've started too high now. I need to. He has definitely has a flat area right in here and shadow. And that line comes down. And this line comes down like that in the shadow. And there you can definitely see the shadow of his nose there. And the tip of his eyebrow should be darker right in here. Excuse my hands. His eyebrows are not equal. Okay. Now, see, we don't have this line showing here. We have a little bit of a line right here showing. Just a touch. This is too high to his nose now because it should come from farther up from this area. And it is definitely a little darker and a little wider. And I don't have the shadowing under his lip yet either, and across his face, which is in here. This is a nighttime picture. Although the light's fairly bright on him, it is a nighttime picture. And there are shadows that are formed by the light. Let's see, it needs to come down. The shadow needs to come down in here. And they need to go up and down like that. And then this needs to come, that line needs to come out and just be a shadowed line. And let's come right on down here. Now, I'm going to shadow his nose right in here, but I'm going to take it out with the eraser. Let's move them inward just a tad, because the lips should arch where those are usually. Come across here, and then we'll take some of it out. And then right here, we're going to lighten that whole area across there in a line. Okay. This should be darker in here. This laugh line should be heavier and kind of come to a little triangle in his lips. But it doesn't need to be so pronounced. Let's see. Okay. I got it arched too much. Didn't need to be rounded so much. A little bit of a shadow in here that still comes across there. And a little bit more shadow here. And in here. And across his lip. And under his lip. It is darker in here. A little lighter right in here. A little darker over here. And that shadow should come down, work its way down a little bit on his lip. That's a little curl right there. Dadgummit. Okay, this line is wrong. Okay, he's got a little bit of a curl right here on his lip. And then it comes to there. And this comes right down in here. And this comes out here. Change the nose tip. You think it's too flat? His nose is pretty wide across there. That's his coat collar. And there is a big roll of it. Actually, what's causing this spot. So it actually comes up and stands against his face over here. And then it's kind of straight down into his coat. It comes down around like that. And his shirt collar then comes in. And over here, he actually had another shirt collar that came out and actually stood out, which I don't have it on this picture, but I have it on this one. Okay, so let's get his shirt in here. Comes out. Let's give him some definition here around his face. And it comes down. And then on this side, it's flat, a little arched because it's a zipper. It comes down like this. With a zipper edge. And then he's actually taking his own photograph, and I'm going to try to take that out of there with just bringing his shoulder out and kind of rounding out his arm here and giving him a little different look so that he's not looking like he's... Did I change it? Did I change it? Or is his nose still too wide? His nose is very, very, very defined, and it's very hard to get that in there. And maybe it's not actually... It's kind because it's kind of like that. It is kind of like that. And then a little more like that. And this is more of a teardrop shape. And he has very little not outside edge. It's kind of tends to flatten out just a little bit on the outside edge. So, I mean, that line, you can see that one. That's all in the light. And it's really light right in there. I did change the tip. He doesn't need this light, this right in here. Not that shadow as much. But if you look, see it comes around here and then down. It's too wide on this side, isn't it? Okay, let's see if we can't. It's either too narrow over here or it's too wide over here because it's not symmetrical. Spread out just a little bit. Okay. And then this needs to be undefined as much. Although you can see a little bit of it right here. Good now? Okay. And this line, I'm still feeling like I'm getting that line. This line is all just messed up. Just messed up right there. Don't like the shadowing in it. And it has definitely got some in it. There's definitely some right in here. And there's definitely some under his lip over here. And in this area in here, which goes down to his chin, there is definitely some shading. There's definitely some beard right there. And let's scrub this right in here. It's definitely got a 5 o'clock shadow here. Down, right in there. Okay. His hair in here is really cut short. And I think that I'm too far in right in here. With his face. A little bit of shading here. And a little bit of shading here. Where the light doesn't color. And we didn't make that definitely a definite point coming up and coming around. And you can see his cheekbones and a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow in here. Ah, not good. I just lost my lead. Hi, Sandra. See if I can find some lead down in here. Hope it's not all downstairs. I'm pretty sure that I have some. I know I have some downstairs. Okay, well, I don't. So let me see if I can get a light marker here. Let's see. Let's start putting a little color on this. See where I need to go. And some shadow. Going with a little lighter color at first. Well, actually, it's probably a little darker color than what my flesh is going to be, but it's give me some point of reference here. I'm too deep right there. Far. And that pencil doesn't have any lead in it. Dadgummit. Okay. Now I'm getting irritated. Blue. Black. I don't know if I'm using my watercolors or just my colored pencils. But it's definitely his shirt. We want it to come up and be very crisp. And let's see. And that may not be pointing out far enough. This jacket's black. It definitely had a rolled edge. Like a hood on the back of it. A little more level with his hair here. Okay. Get rid of some of that. Okay. Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it. It'll take me a while, but I'll get it. So hurry back when you can. I will probably just be on here for another 30 minutes or so. And then we might take this up later. Once I get to drawing, I just keep drawing. So I could be on here for hours on end, or I could just stop. And there's got to be a stopping point on YouTube. So that's kind of where we're at here. Around. Okay, now we can see more or less the sides of his face, a little bit there in a line. Maybe not quite that. Definitely, but in a little bit of a shadow area. And then real light around it. And we'll come up here. Okay. This needs to be more defined here. There needs to be some darkness in here. Down. And it kind of goes straight up. Hide. And we need to bring it straight down. And really lighten it in there. Goes right off the end of his nose. Goes straight off the end of his nose. And that comes in here. Oops. Okay. His nose has more of that. That's not good. This eye is looking better. This eye needs to be darkened yet. I haven't done that. Yeah. I need to, this is arched more. It's more of a diamond shape nose.